Hi students, welcome back. In the previous video, we studied some important points related with the admission of a partner. That are new profit sharing ratio, sacrificing ratio, valuation of goodwill, and treatment of goodwill. Okay, in this video, we are going to discuss a revaluation account. We know at the time of admission of a new partner, the existing partner's profit sharing ratio will change. Not only at the time of admission, but also the retirement of a partner or death of a partner. Also, the existing partner's profit sharing ratio will change. Whenever any changes is held in partnership, that means at the time of admission, retirement or death, that time the profit sharing ratio also change. In that cases, we need to prepare a revaluation account. So, a revaluation account is an account prepared to ascertain the variation in the value of assets and liabilities of the firm. As we studied earlier, at the time of admission of a new partner, the old ratio of the old partner will change and the new ratio will apply in place of old share. Right? In that cases, we need to prepare a separate nominal account. That account is called revaluation account. It's a special nominal account. Okay, revaluation account is a nominal account. Why we need to prepare revaluation account? Just we can check it. Right? For example, A and B started a business on 2010 and that business is going on. Okay. In 2017, they admit C as a new partner. Okay. Here, please remember, whenever we add a new partner, from that day onwards, partnership firm will change. That means the profit sharing ratio also change. That we know. Okay. So here, from 2010 to 2017, there are only two partners, A and B. Assume that their profit sharing ratio is 3:2. And from 2017 onwards, a new partner is joining and their new profit sharing ratio, we can assume 3:2:1. Okay. See here, if we made any profit in this period, before C's admission, that is 2010-2017, who are the inheritors of this profit or who will get this profit? Only A and B, right? Here C has no right on this profit because C is admitting after this point. Okay. If we are not distributing this profit to A and B at the time of C's admission, what will happen? This profit will carry forward to C also, correct? After the admission of new partner, whatever the assets, liabilities, profit or loss are there, new partner also have a right in that asset, liabilities, profit or loss. Okay. So, what we do? Before the admission of a new partner, we will distribute all profit or loss to all the partners. Okay. If any profit is visible, we should distribute to all the partners very firstly. Some profit is visible in the books of account in the name of reserves or surplus, profit and loss account. Okay. So, we need to distribute this profit to all the partners in their old ratio. Is it clear? Some profit is visible in the books, but some profit will not show directly. For example, in 2010, we purchased an asset called building at rupees 1 lakh. Assume that every year building price is increasing. On 2017, the price of this building is 6 lakh. Now the business is going on and the current value of building is rupees 10 lakh. So we know the building cost on 2017 is 6 lakh. That means the value of building on 2010 is rupees 1 lakh and the value on 2017 is rupees 6 lakh. So the difference 5 lakh is the profit, and this profit is related with the old partners A and B only, right? So at the time of admission of a new partner, we will show the value of building is rupees 6 lakh in the books. That means we need to revalue the asset. Okay, we will not show 1 lakh rupees in the books. We will show 6 lakh rupees. If we are not revalue at the time of admission, what will happen? The building cost will show in the books 1 lakh rupees. And now 2020, the value of building is 10 lakh. So the difference 10 lakh minus 1 lakh, 9 lakh rupees is the profit. This profit and the part of profit will share to C also if we are not show or if we are not revalue the asset, right? But we know after the admission of C, the increased value of building is only 4 lakh. Okay, but if we are not revalue, then the increased value will show 9 lakh. Okay, so at the time of admission, we will revalue all the assets and liabilities. At the time of admission, retirement or death, that time the profit sharing ratio also change. In that case, we need to prepare a revaluation account. This revaluation account is a nominal account. Okay. So, at the time of admission of a new partner, we should revalue all the assets and liabilities and calculate the profit or loss, because that profit or loss is related with old partners. At the time of revaluation, sometimes the asset values increase or decrease. Same, the liability also increase or decrease. If asset is increase or liability is decrease, we can say we have profit. Otherwise, if asset values decrease or liabilities increase, we can say we have loss. Okay. The profit or losses arising from this process are distributing amongst the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. So, we need to record all these profit or losses in the books of accounts. Now, we are going to discuss the important journal entries related to revaluation of assets and liabilities. The first case is when the value of asset is increased. We know we are preparing the revaluation account. Revaluation account is a nominal account. The rule of nominal account is debit all expenses or losses and credit all incomes and gains. Okay, in this case, the value of asset is increase. When the asset is increase, we should debit the asset. And the revaluation account is a nominal account. So when asset is increase, that means we are getting profit. So revaluation account we need to credit. Okay. The journal entry is asset account debtor to revaluation account, asset account, sometimes furniture account, machinery account, plant account. When the asset values increase, we should debit the asset account and credit the revaluation account. Next case is when the value of asset is decreased. We know when the asset is decreased, that time our loss is increase. Okay, so revaluation account is a nominal account. Rule is debit all expenses or losses. So what we have to do? Revaluation account we need to debit and the value of asset is decrease. When the asset values decrease, we should credit. Right? This is the just opposite of first case. So the journal entry is revaluation account debtor to asset account. The next case is when the value of liabilities increase. If our liabilities increase, we are getting loss. Okay, when asset is increasing, we can get profit, and when liabilities increase, we are getting loss. For example, we took a loan from the bank rupees 1 lakh. Loan is a liability. Now we need to pay that loan amount 1,50,000. We took the loan 1 lakh, but now we need to pay 1,50,000. So here 50,000, the liability is increased. That means our loss is increased. Right? So when the liability is increased, our loss is increased. So the journal entry is revaluation account debtor to liabilities account. We know liability have a credit balance and a revaluation account. Revaluation account is a nominal account. Debit all expenses or losses. Okay, so the journal entry is revaluation account debtor to liabilities account. Next case, when the value of liabilities decrease. This is the just opposite of the third case. Here our liabilities decrease. When our liabilities decrease, that time our profit will increase. We know when asset is increase, our profit will increase. That means at the time of admission of a new partner, if our liabilities decrease, we can get the profit. Okay, if liabilities increase, we should debit the liability. And the revaluation account is a nominal account. Credit all incomes and gains. Okay, so the journal entry is liabilities account debtor to revaluation account. Give the liability name here. Okay. The next case for unrecorded asset. Unrecorded asset means any asset we missed to record in the books of account. Okay. If any unrecorded asset is there, we need to take it into account. Okay, that asset we need to show in the books of account. The asset we need to debit. The journal entry is asset account debtor to revaluation account. The next case for unrecorded liability. Unrecorded liability means any liability we missed to record in the books of account. If any unrecorded liability is there, that liability also we need to brought into account. So when the liability is increasing, we need to credit the liability, and revaluation account we need to debit. So the journal entry is revaluation account debtor to liabilities account. Make the name of liability here. Sometimes creditors, loan, etc. Okay. Now just I will draw a revaluation account here. Okay. Same as other accounts, a revaluation account also a debit side and a credit side. Okay. If any assets value is increasing, we will get the profit. Okay. So that time when the asset value is increasing, we will record in credit side. We can enter here by asset, by furniture, by machinery, by land and building. Okay. So if the profit is increasing, we can record in credit side. When asset is increasing, we are getting profit. Okay. Then if any liabilities is decreasing, if the value of liability is decreasing, that time also we can get profit. That also we are recording in the credit side by liabilities. Then next, if any unrecorded asset is there, that asset also we can record in the credit side, unrecorded asset. Okay. Next, if any asset is decreasing, that time we have loss. So that we will record in the debit side to asset, decreased value of asset. Same, the liability. If any liability is increasing, that time also our profit is reducing or we are getting the loss. That also we can record in the debit side to liabilities. Then any unrecorded liabilities are there, that also we can record in the debit side to unrecorded liabilities. In briefly, when asset is increasing, we will credit in the revaluation account, and when asset is decreasing, we will debit in the revaluation account. Same as liability. When liability is increasing, we will debit it. When liability is decreasing, we will credit. Then, when unrecorded assets are there, we will credit in the revaluation account. And when unrecorded liabilities are there, we will debit in the revaluation account. Right? That means, if our profit is increasing, we will credit in the revaluation account. And if our profit is decreasing or loss is increasing, we will debit in the revaluation account. Okay, the credit side is the profit side and debit side is the loss side. Then, after the balancing of this revaluation account, sometimes the credit side we will get more amount. That means credit side is the profit side. So we can say we have net profit. Or sometimes this debit side will get more amount. Debit side means the loss side. So that time we can say we have net loss. If it is profit or loss, this balancing figure, profit or loss, this amount we will transfer to old partner's capital account in the old ratio. If it is profit, we can transfer net profit transferred to old partner's capital account. Or if it is loss, that time also we can write here net loss transferred to old partner's capital account in the old ratio. Right? Because this profit or loss is related with the old partners only. After the calculation of this net profit or net loss, we need to make a journal entry for this. Okay. So, the journal entry for revaluation profit. If it is profit, the journal entry is a revaluation account debtor to old partners capital account in the old ratio. Enter. If it is loss for revaluation loss, we can write the journal entry old partners capital account debtor to revaluation account. Okay. These are the main journal entries related with the revaluation of assets and liabilities. Okay. One thing you should remember. We will not record the total market value of asset or liabilities in revaluation account. We will record only the difference between the book value and the market value of the assets or liabilities. Sometimes we will have some confusion about the value. That means how much is the market value, or how much is the difference amount, or how much is the decreased value, or this amount is decreased or this value is increased value. Okay, so I will give one tip. First one is the word at or to. If any amount is given after the word at or to, that amount given is the market value. For example, in the balance sheet, machinery amount is given rupees 10,000, and in our question it shows that machinery is valued at rupees 15,000. That means the market value is rupees 15,000. So the balance sheet amount of 10,000 is the previous value, Now at present the value is 15,000. So the difference amount, market value 15,000 minus book value 10,000, is the 5,000. This 5,000 only we will record in the revaluation account. Okay. So remember, if any amount is given after the word at or to, that amount given is the market value. And the second word, by. If any amount is given after the word by, that amount is profit or loss. Sometimes profit or sometimes loss. For example, in our balance sheet, stock value is shown rupees 10,000, and in the information it shows stock is decreased by rupees 2,000. That means the value of stock shown in the balance sheet 10,000, but now the value is decreased by 2,000. That means the present value of the stock is rupees 8,000 only. So we have loss rupees 2,000. Okay, so we will record only this difference amount 2,000 in the revaluation account. So remember, if any amount is given after the word by, that amount sometimes is the profit or the loss. That amount we can show in the revaluation account directly. Okay. The points what we studied earlier, new profit sharing ratio, sacrificing ratio, treatment of goodwill, revaluation account, all will include in one problem. Okay. In the next video, we can solve a problem related with the revaluation account.